All I can say is our guys don't feel pressure. You know, our coaches, our players, they're out there like this is a regular season game in October. Again, that's why I think our guys have played so loose on game day and gotten the most. We don't read into that. That's for y'all to tell that story. But our guys, as you can see up here, man, they're as loose as it gets, and they put in the work and they're ready to go.
Zach, how has CJ been progressing this week, and do you expect to have him available on Sunday?
Yeah, CJ's been as good as we could have hoped, and expect him to play on Sunday.
Coach, we have some new NFL head coaches in the upcoming season. What would be your advice for those guys stepping into that role?
Well, I don't want to help them. No, I mean it's you know, everyone faces their own challenges everywhere they go, and the best experience is experience. You know, you just learn from that, and I don't have much more than that.
You've been very polite all this week about not being your responsibility. It is your responsibility, but it's your players and always your players doing the stuff. What have you learned? What is it that makes you such a special coach?
I don't look at myself as a special coach. I think I've got special people around me, and that's the players. It's the assistant coaches that probably don't get enough attention. When we were 2-14, I knew that we had a great collection of coaches that people were going to want to hire at some point for promotions, and that's only grown as we've added pieces to the puzzle these last 2 years. But I really mean it. Our coaching staff is phenomenal. The chemistry they have, the way the players respond to them, the way that they support me, you can't ask for a better staff.
Coach, how would you describe the momentum from landing Tuesday, now your last full practice, as we get 48 hours of game time, both mentally and physically, for you and the team?
I think it's been relatively normal. You know, we're in our own little bubble there with the hotel and the UCLA facility. When we walk over here, it feels very much like home in that way in terms of how efficient our time can be spent at practice, avoiding distractions. I think the time change is helpful for us. We're up early in the morning, and guys get worn down as the day goes on, and probably want to get to bed, you know, a little earlier than if you were playing on the East Coast. So I think they've handled it really well, and we'll just get through these next 50 hours and get ready for kickoff.
Coach, over these 3 years, you've been one of the most optimistic guys through it all the tough times and lean times, and said stick to the plan. And they have, and it was obvious from the get-go that even in lean years, these players played for you. So I know you don't consider yourself special, but you've been consistent through it all.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but again, we're here because our organization, from top to bottom, has been on the same page, and that's equipment room, training room, video, ownership, coaches, personnel, players, grounds crew, operations. Everybody is perfectly aligned, and it's a special thing to be a part of. You kind of have to see it to understand it, but it's why Cincinnati is such a special place, and happy to be a part of it.
Coach, what did you learn from Sean McVay when you used to work with him, and what's your opinion of him?
My opinion of Sean McVay is I've got so much respect for him. You know, he became a great friend of mine. I learned a lot from him, and you know, he certainly has played a huge role in giving me this opportunity here in Cincinnati, because being a part of the things that he led that team to do, naturally it offered up some great opportunities for a lot of the assistants, me being one of them. There's a lot of things I take from what he's done with the Rams and integrated it into what we do here in Cincinnati. We've also evolved a lot of things that are specific to how we do things, but tremendous amount of respect for Sean, and happy for all the success he's had.
Zach?
That's a hard one, because he's a homegrown kid. Cincinnati, Mahler, Ohio State, Cincinnati Bengals. You can't write a script any better than that. It was really meant to be for him to be a part of this and help be a captain on this team. And so, you know, you hate to say he's the heartbeat of the defense, because there's so many guys that fit that description, but he's certainly a big part of that heart, you know, and our players play off of his energy, and what he's given this team is just, you know, means a lot to me and this team and the city.
Coach,
Yeah.
League committed to expanding globally this week, more games in Germany, obviously a big fan base in the UK and Ireland. Just a message to fans around the world, because it's not just Cincinnati that's going to be cheering on the Bengals.
Yeah, it's the greatest sport in all the world, you know, and this is the biggest game in all the games, you know, and so we don't take this for granted to be here on this stage. You know, I've had the opportunity to go overseas 4 times now and play games, and it's been an awesome experience, and I think the league's probably doing the right thing and expanding this on and on, because there's a lot of fans to be reached. And the more that they learn about this game, the more they're going to love it.
Zach, you're coming to Dublin in August. Any message for Nebraska taking on Northwestern?
Go win it, man. Go Big Red and go win in Dublin this August.
Zach, you're
How many people you found coming to the game? Just watch you and the Bengals personally, and it means a lot to you that's going to be there once in a while.
Yeah, really every immediate family member I have, and every immediate family member my wife has for the most part will be here at the game. So that's special. Those are the people that mean the most to us. Obviously, a lot of friends who have reached out. You know, the ticket thing is out of my control, but I know that there's a lot of people I'm close to that have found ways to get tickets and show up at the game, and I'm really happy that they all get to experience it.
Hey, Zach, to your point about McVay, what example do you have of things that you took with you to Cincinnati, and then also things you retooled?
The way our structure of practice, our structure of meetings, the way that we interact with our players, you know, there's a lot of things I've learned from Sean that I think have allowed his team to consistently win divisions and play for Super Bowls, and those are things you'd be silly to not take you with you at your next job. So.
Zach, how an amazing chance to make history for your team and for yourself as well.
It is, you know, it's not an opportunity we take for granted. You know, playing in the Super Bowl, there's a lot of people that coach and play in this sport for a really long time that never get this. And so, but the funny thing for us is we've just been so week to week. It's just we got to win the next game, and all of a sudden, bam, you're in the Super Bowl. It's something we'll think long and hard about after the game's over. But right now, all that matters is putting our best foot forward on Sunday.
The strategy team must be protect Burrow and let him play. So how is the game plan for that?
The game plan is good. You know, we're excited to put it into effect and score some points to win the game.
Coach,
you guys have rebuffed kind of the role or title of the underdogs. What is the identity of this team going into this game then?
Yeah, we just win the games that are in front of us, you know, and it doesn't matter how we do it. We've done it a lot of different ways. Defense, offense, special teams. Collectively, we've got some great players individually, but collective, man, this is the most special team I've ever been part of.
So you're kind of a sum of parts that to attack rather than any individual, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it's we just play well as units. We come together as a team. We know someone's got to make a play in critical moments, and up to this point, we've done that.
What went into you guys' philosophy when you got Burrow, when you bring him in, you empower him as a franchise quarterback from day one? Why did you guys do that, and how do you think that has helped him and given him some confidence and some freedom to grow?
That's just how we took him with the number one pick. So there's obviously some special traits. We know he's a winner, he's a champion, he's capable of all those things. We wanted to make sure that we built this thing around him and how he could feel most comfortable. I think that when a player like that, who prepares like he does and sees the game really from a coach's perspective, he should be involved in everything we do. And that's opinions on other players that we're adding to the team. That's scheme and game plan. That's adjustments that we make over the course of the game. He's earned that. Anytime he's involved, he tends to make it work really well. And so, you know, I don't think that there's any egos on our staff that say no, that we've got to do it the way that the coaches want it done. It's I want him to feel comfortable on game day, because when he feels comfortable, he plays at a really special level.
You guys gave him some influence before he had actually earned it at the NFL level. Did you feel like that was going to be a helpful part of the process going forward, to give him that from the start?
Yeah, there's certainly things that we had in our system maybe that we had emphasized that he did really well in college, where it's okay, let's reach into the depths of our playbook, some things that maybe we've installed but we don't really focus on, and he's really excelled in this, so let's push it to the forefront and start to build the offense around that a little bit, and that's really how to unravel.
Coach, you've had a lot of...
Right, and I'll get you next.
Do you make any changes in how you approach the game when you go against another coach who knows you so well, please work together?
No, I think that can be overstated. You know, we haven't been together now for 4 years, and their roster's changed. There's 15 players left on that team that played in that Super Bowl with 5 coaches, and so they've had a lot of turnover. And each year, even each half a year, you evolve so much as a team that I think that can be overstated a little bit.
Coach, you've had a lot of doubters this year. How does that fuel you and your team going into the biggest game of the year?
That's why I'm in this profession. I don't want a profession that everybody just loves you all the time. I want to be able to compete. I want there to be critics. I love driving into Arrowhead Stadium and everyone booing you and giving you the tomahawk chop. I'm not good enough to be a player in this league, so I went a different path to be a coach, because you just love that competitiveness. You love the passion that people feel about your job, your team, good or bad. That's what fuels the soul.
Because a lot of coaches and players like to visualize success. I mean, have you thought about what it'd be like holding that trophy?
Every day of my life. Yeah, every single day of my life.
Coach.
Jamar Chase, Rookie of the Year. Did you expect it because of what the numbers he put up? You guys wasn't surprised? or what you surprised you to the organization?
But, you know, that's a hard one for me. I certainly think he's the most valuable rookie. It's hard to imagine anybody else. But at the same time, we don't watch Mac Jones or these other guys. We don't study them over the course of the year. So whether or not a guy's going to win or not, that's irrelevant to us because we don't put in the work to study everybody who's on the board. But I'm happy that they won. It brings attention to this team, which is deserving of that. I know it's an individual award, but I know these guys wanted to involve their teammates in that process, and it's really cool that he and Joe got to experience that last night.
Coach.
Yes.
You said this is one of the most special units that you've worked with. What is it about this team, aside from getting a Super Bowl, that makes this team special?
The character, the willingness to do whatever it takes to win. You know, and we have a definition of what a Bengal is. It's a physical, hungry, accountable teammate who's willing to do their all to get the job done. And we've got 53 of them in the building, plus some on the practice squad. And I think that goes a long way, and why we've won close games, why you know, our guys have been so narrow focused on each game, every single game, just putting their best foot forward and getting us in the Super Bowls because we've got so many guys that fit that definition. Go ahead, James.
I asked Joe about this because his confidence in you has never wavered, not once, not last year at any point. Obviously, there were questions after 2 years, the first 2 years. What does that mean to you that he was so confident in you during the trying time?
Well, it's certainly important that you have guys that understand the plan and believe in the plan. And sometimes the success isn't always immediate. You know, that can be fool's gold to an extent. You could have started 6-0 with a bunch of smoke and mirrors, you know, and last year I'm saying, and then kind of fall apart. And so we feel like we built it the right way. We feel like we've added the players that understand the vision and the plan, and they can bring it to life. And it starts with guys like Joe Burrow, you know, and so it's important to incorporate that in that plan and make sure they understand every single turn and twist it can take, and so that we're all on the same page.
Does your message to the team change for a Super Bowl game rather than a regular Week 15 game?
Our message changes every week, you know, in terms of the specific message to how we're going to win, but the overall theme is find a way to win, and that's not going to change now that we're just in the Super Bowl.